right? Okay. Now, when you take UNIVAC, Universal Automatic Computer, was an electrical computer containing thousands of vacuum tubes and utilized punch card and switches to input data and punch cards to output and store data. So I will tell you what is called punch card, right? So punch card means it's like this. Now you have to input everything. You have to input everything through the ones and zero. Suppose you have card something like this. And there are card you have holes in a kind of a pattern, right? Something like this, right? This is not the exact one. Not the exact one, but this is the concept, right? Yeah, holes as example, this will equal to 0. This part we have as given time intervals are there. The card enter it has time between these holes. You have specific length. Length calculation. So here you suppose you have 1. This is again 0. This is 1. Again 0, 1, something like this. Here it is 1. Here is 0. Again 1. So when you insert this punch card, that computer will understand, okay, these are the input, because all the inputs we have to give through the ones and zero. So that is done by using the punch card in the earlier computers. Nowadays we are using keyboard, mouse and all that. No, earlier we didn't have them. Then we had something called punch card, right? The punch card will input as well as output. Output means you are getting this output. That means printed card will be taken as output. Output input also same, right? So that is called punch card. Nowadays you can't see them. So I'll share this tune again. So UNIVAC was an electrical computer containing thousands of vacuum tubes that utilize punch card and switches to input data and punch cards to output and store data. Right? Both I have done by using the punch card. Then we'll go to the second generation one. Under that, write down. In this generation, under second generation, write down. In this generation, transistors were used. Transistors were used as the fundamental building block. As the fundamental building block. IBM 1620 I have written on the screen. IBM 1620. IBM 7094. IBM 7094. CDC 1604. CDC 1604. CDC 3600. UNIVAC 1108. UNIVAC 1108. Were some computers. Were some computers developed in this generation. Developed in this generation. right? Now, if I talk about this transistor, you can see the picture. But if I share the nowadays transistors looks like this, right? These are called transistors. But earlier you don't get this kind of a small one. You had big ones. That's what the picture shows, right? So that's called, in second generation, we use transistors. Then when you go to third generation, we go to third generation one. Third generation computers, right? 1964 to 1975. So in third generation, what has happened? The computers of third generation use integrated circuit. This is called IC or integrated circuit in place of transistors. A single IC contains many transistors, resistors, and capacitors along with the associated security. Right? That means now in one IC, that is integrated circuit, you will be getting so many transistors. That's why computer has become very small with the time being, right? So they are replacing now. Earlier we had the computers, that was replaced by the transistors. These transistors again replaced by the integrated circuit or ICs, right? So there are some examples given. IBM 360 series, PDP personal data processor, TDC 316 were the computer of third generation, right? So this IC, the word IC, integrated circuit, you have to memorize or remember. That is the very important part in the third generation. That is the technology they use. When you go to the fourth generation, in this generation of computers, VLSI, that is called very large scale integrated circuit, were used. Now highlight that one also. VLSI, very large scale integrated. VLSI circuits having more transistors and other circuits elements with their associated circuit on a single chip made it possible to have microchips. Now microcomputers or microprocessor is introduced in fourth generation. That means very large scale integrated. Now earlier, that is in third generation, අපි මොනවද use කරේ? ICs, integrated circuit. මේකෙදි මොකද වෙන්නේ? ඒ වගේ integrated circuits ගොඩක් එකතු කරලා හැදුවා VLSI, very large scale integrated, or that is called microprocessor. So with the microprocessor, the computer has become very small, right? Computers ගොඩක් පොඩි වුණා, and they became very powerful, right? Then we'll go to the fifth generation. Now we are in the fifth generation. We have artificial intelligence and all that. Under that, write down the ULSI. The ULSI. Within bracket put ultra large scale integration. Ultra large scale integration. Technology is used in this generation. Continue with that, resulting in the production of microprocessor chips having million transistors, and other electronic components. And other electronic components. So I have given the example: desktop, laptop, notebook, and ultra books now available. They are having huge speed plus storage capacities. So we are in the 5th generation computer. Then we'll go to classification of computers. Classification. Okay, I will explain that. So when you take the computers classification, we can classify them according to technology. Then according to purpose of the computer. Then according to the size. These are the 3 categorization of the computer according to technology, according to purpose, and according to size, right? When you consider about technology, we have analog computers, digital computers, and hybrid also there. Now, analog computers means if I draw the analog signal, looks like this, right? So these are called continuous data. Continuous data. If your computer is using continuous data, that is called analog computer. Now, it's an analog device. Now, if you take thermometers, pressure meters, they are using analog signals. So those are called analog computers. So it's a computing device, right? If you take digital computer, it's like this, signals are like this. You have either 1 or 0. The signals are like this. Your signals are like 1 or 0. This data transmission will be discussing in unit 6, that is networking. Don't worry about at the moment. This is kind of a signal. So make it 2 state, 1s and 0s. But when you take this one, this has continuous. Continuous can here 0 now, here 5 volt now. So from this in the middle, you can take any value, different values you can take. But here you have either 0 or 5 volt. That is 1 or 0 or 2. This hybrid means combination of this. Now these digital computers are the computers that we are using. Then APE computers, they are coming under digital computers, right? When you take the hybrid means this 2 technology embedded. Technology dekama. As an example, if you take ECG machine. ECG machine at the hospital. They are used to now ECG machine. This stuff we discuss unit 1. Unit 1 එකේ මේ ඔක්කොම කතා කරලා තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට ECG machine එකක් ගත්තොත් එහෙම it check our cardiac signal. අපේ chest එකේ තියෙන cardiac signals තමයි check කරන්නේ. So this cardiac signals are called analog signal. දැන් අපේ ඇඟේ තියෙන්නේ analog signals. We don't have digital signal. ඇඟ ඇතුලේ digital වෙලා නැහැ, right? So these are the analog signal. So that analog signal will be taken by the computer. Computer එකකින් අරගෙන ඒක අපිට වෙන්නනවා screen එකට දාලා මෙන්න මෙහෙම වගේ hard එක වැඩ කරන්න කියලා. Right? So computer is a digital one. Our body having analog signal. So both are combination and giving that output through the ECG machine. So ECG machine is coming under hybrid computer. මේ වගේ එකකට අපි කියනවා hybrid computer එකක් කියලා, because both the analog and digital both are using, right? Hari, අපි එහෙමනම් ඒක ගැන පොඩ්ඩක් we'll write down that. I'll share that you. Classification of computer. Under analog computer, write down. An analog computer is form of computer that handle continuous values such as electrical, mechanical, or mechanical, or hydraulic quantities. Hydraulic quantities. Okay. Can you draw this signal? Top one. This analog one, take this down, analog only. I have taken two sides, voltage and the time. Voltage and the time. Okay, then we'll go through the digital computer. Under that, write down. A computer that, there you didn't write the example, no? Write down some example under analog computers. Pressure meters, speedometers, even you can take temperature meter even. Then digital computers, under that write down. A computer that performs calculations and logical operations with quantities represented as digits, usually in the binary number system. So don't worry about the number systems. We are discussing in the unit 3, right? Binary number systems. Okay. Take this down, example signal, digital one. This is digital one. So you have time and the voltage. Okay, I think you got that. Continue with that. Put some examples. Computers, MP3 players. These are coming under digital computers. Laptops, everything, right? Mobile phone, even see. Smartphone, actually, smartphone. Then here I haven't mentioned the hybrid thing. So can you all write somewhere top of the tube here, write down hybrid computers. Hybrid computers. Right somewhere here. I haven't. I forgot to put that. Hybrid. Another write down. These are the computers. These are the computers that use both analog and digital technologies. Both analog and digital technologies. Put example, ECG machine. ECG machine. ECG machine. Then we'll go to the based on purpose. Based on purpose. Odil is asking, so how about signal? Signal in the sense that is both analog and digital. Both are using, right? Combination of that one. Some places they are using the analog signals. That's why I told the body, from the body you are taking the input as a analog signal, but the computer you are using digital, right? I think you got that, Odil, right? Okay, then we'll see according to the purpose. According to purpose. That means when you get the computers, you have two different purposes. One is special purpose, other one is general purpose. Now, what we have in our home, computers, we don't have any special computers. We have general computers, so our laptops, desktops, whatever the tabs, those are coming under general computers. General. What do you mean by special computers? Special. Now, when you go to the hospital, your body can be scanned through a computing device and giving, okay, these are the symptoms you have in this. These are the illnesses you have. Scan. So that is also kind of a computer. But it is used for a special purpose. We can't, by using the general computer, that means our day-to-day computers that what we have at homes, we can't scan our body, making up a scan right? Through the general. So these special computers, have you seen that playing games and all that through the special purpose computers? So this is scanners and all that. They have the operating system. Everything is there, but they are not used to play games or watching movies, right? General use so that is the special thing. When you take the NASA and all that, they have special computers. Now we are coming to the another classification size again. So this is These are for special purpose. Special purpose for special computers, right? So we'll write down under that one. Based on the purpose, under first one, special purpose computers, they are write down. Computers are designed to handle specific problem or to perform a specific task. Then under general purpose, write down general purpose. These are designed to perform. These are designed to perform range of day-to-day tasks. Range of day-to-day tasks. Right? Okay. So we'll go to the other classification, that is based on size. So when you consider about size, api computer ke size ekath ekka balanne, size is not the physical size only, performance and all this stuff, capacity and all this stuff. So we have supercomputers. Supercomputers are there, mainframe, mini computers are there, and microcomputers. So this workstation is also coming under this, right? So super means වචනේම තියෙනවා super කිව්වහම නේද? Super කියන්නේ superi කියලා අපි කියන්නේ නේද? Super means it can do super works. Super works කරන්න පුළුවන්. superi වැඩ ගන්න පුළුවන් එකක් තමයි අපි super computers කියලා කියන්නේ. So they are very fast, capacity is very high, very efficiency. Now when you take this NASA and all that, they have supercomputers, right? I will share a small description. I think you can see this. Now earlier we had, okay, earlier we had this kind of thing, top 10 supercomputer, tiny, that is from China. Then Titan, Sequo, K computer. So now these are some computers, supercomputer, top 10 supercomputers, right? But nowadays, that is here, yes, this is as of November 2020. November 2020, you have the supercomputer. This is the supercomputer. Nowadays we have first one, Fugaku, that is from the Japan. Japan එකක් තමයි මේක. ඔය තව කීපයක් තියෙන USA, China වල එකක් තියෙනවා වගේ. there are මේ tiny කියන එක again China එකක් දැන් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා, but this is the best one. This is the best one, right? So now here you can see flops, floating point operation per second. Floating point, there's something called floating point that will be discussing in unit 3 number system per second. That means number of basic mathematical operations computer can perform in a second. තප්පරයකට perform කරන්න පුළුවන් operations ගන්න. Now when you see this, this is more than 4 lakhs. 442,010. That is more than 4 lakh. So, ඔයගොල්ලෝ හිතා ගන්න පුළුවන් ඇති තප්පරයකටයි මේ calculations ගන්න මෙච්චර calculations ගන්නක් කරන්නේ කියන එක. Right? තප්පරයකට කරන calculations ගන්න තමයි මේ දීලා තියෙන්නේ. So that is that's a supercomputer, right? Supercomputer කියන්නේ ඒකයි. එතකොට then other computers even they have given මේ හැම එකේම දැන් අන්තිම එකේ තියෙනවා 35,000 ගන්න per second. එක second එකකට කරන පුළුවන් calculations ගන්න. So you can imagine how fast it is. කොච්චර fast කියන එක හිතා ගන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට now in this picture you can see the supercomputers. These are the supercomputer. Now it is containing so many parts plus, right? Having, that's why it is having not only one single unit. Unit එක අපිට ඔච්චර වැඩ කරගන්න බෑ. ඒ ඔක්කොම එකතු වෙලා තමයි it's working as a one computer, right? Working as a one computer that's sharing the resources, parallel computing, all this stuff. We'll be discussing this unit. අපි මේ unit එකේ මැදදී අපි කතා කරන parallel computing and this stuff. So they are sharing their resources. ඔක්කොම resources share කරගෙන තමයි මෙයා මේ වැඩේ කරන්නේ, right? So these are the supercomputers. Okay, we'll go to the tute again. So supercomputer. Then yeah, I will explain the other ones also. There's something called mainframe. The supercomputer now you can understand. Now as example, now you are launching a missile, right? Missiles launch karadi. They are using supercomputers. Why? Because they have to have a calculation with the very accurate one. Otherwise, it will land at somewhere else. So that is done by the supercomputers. So mainframe computers, these are also a bit expensive, and these are not much as super like these supercomputers. It's fast, but they have huge storage, right? So the mainframe computers kama use karanne for this what is called Facebook වගේ දේවල් වලට ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ servers විදිහට use කරනවා this mainframe, this social medias වල YouTube and all that. They are using mainframe computer. Why? Because there are so many users are accessing their servers at the same time. එකම වෙලාවේ ලක්ෂ ගාණක් users ලා එකම වෙලාවෙ මේගොල්ලන් computers වලට access කරනවා, right? So because of that, they are using mainframe. Not only one mainframe, එකක් නෙවෙයි mainframe ගොඩක් තියෙනවා. As example, for the Sri Lanka හරි නැත්නම් Asian countries වලට වෙනම ඔයගොල්ලෝ server එකක් දෙයා. As a example, if you take Facebook and all that, they are maintaining one server for Asia countries. අන්න ඒ වගේ ඒගොල්ලෝ මේ users ලා capacity එකත් එක්ක they have decided which type of servers they are using. So those are the mainframe. Why we are using mainframe? So many people are accessing at the same time that can be handled by the mainframe computers, right? අපේ computer එකට 10 දෙනෙකුට connect කරලා දෙන්න බෑනේ. Our computers are not servers, right? Our computers are just normal computers. Those are called client. අපේ client computers තමයි තියෙන්නේ. ඒතකොට ඒක server එකකට convert there are some tools අපිට convert කරන්න පුළුවන් server එකක් විදිහට හදන්න පුළුවන් අපේ computer. But that cannot perform. ඒතකොට user ලා දෙතුන් දිනක එකතු වෙච්ච ගමන් මොකද වෙන්නේ? They can't handle that, right? Then there are something called mini computers. These mini computers are also like the mainframe. Have a එච්චරම capacity එකකුත් නැහැ, එච්චරම speed එකකුත් නැහැ, එච්චරම ගානකුත් නැහැ, right? But they are also acting like the servers විදිහට වැඩ කරනවා. They can handle several users at once. අපි ගොඩක් කරලා banks වල එහෙම පාවිච්චි කරන bank customers ලා at once they are not accessing as much like the Facebook accessing or the Instagram, right? So but they are having some like kind of people they are also accessing at the same time. So the ඒ වගේ computers වලට they are using the server computer like the mini computers. Now another thing අපි දැන් ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ 2023 එතකොට A level, so you are getting O-level result near future නේද? Result up ගාම මොකද වෙන්නේ? You are trying to access your do enets.lk, that is the website you are going to access, right? So that whatever the exam department, they are maintaining kind of a mainframe or mini computer. Most probably it can be a mini computer. So මේ වගේ computers වල තමයි you are using the, you are storing the data. Your result will be storing this kind of a server computer. So you all are accessing. So all කරපු අය ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේක තමයි access කරන්නේ. Sometimes I don't know these days happening. Earlier at the very first time when you are getting the result through online, මුලින්ම introduce කරපු කාලේ they got stuck. දැන් අපි සමහරට server එක access කරන්න බෑ. Server down වෙනවා. So right? So down means now suppose the capacity of your server is 100 කියලා හිතන්නකෝ. එතකොට more than 100 people are trying to access the server, then server can't respond. එයා response කරගන්න බැරුව එයා down වෙනවා කියන්නේ එයා වැඩ කරන්න නැති තත්ත්වයකට පත් වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ආපහු එයා වැඩ කරන තත්ත්වයට පත් කරන්න ඕනේ. Right? That I think that problem has eliminated nowadays. So that they are using the mini computers or the mainframe, right? So Samiru is asking what is known as quantum computer. That will, quantum means that is not like there are, now we are using ones and zero, right? So one bit can, now one bit can I will explain it because he asked, one bit can represent either one or either zero. But in computing quantum one bit can have 1 and 0 both, right? That is with advanced part, right? So that is also now quantum computers are there. So that is also using in different for the different experiments, right? Okay, we'll go through that. Another one is called microcomputers, right? And microcomputers means normal computers that we are using. Use computers, those are called microcomputers. Okay, we'll go through the tune. Okay, write down under supercomputer. The fastest and most powerful type of computers full stop. Supercomputers are very expensive. Supercomputers are very expensive. And are employed for supercomputers are very expensive and are employed for specialized applications. Applications that require immense amount of computing power. Immense, IMMENSC, immense amount of computing power. Amount of computing power, right? So I have put the example tiny, that is one, that earlier it was the number one supercomputer. Okay, we'll go to the other parts. Then mainframe. Now, when you take the mainframe computers, we will go through that one. Another write down. I explained that. A very large and expensive computer capable of supporting hundreds or even thousands of users, simultaneously. That means at the same time. Simultaneously. You can write the example: servers of social media networks. Social media networks. So they are using mainframes. Then we'll go to the mini computers. There, write down. Mid-size computers. Mainly used as small o. Mid-range servers. Operating businesses. And scientific applications. Put the examples: servers on banks. So servers on banks. Okay, if you go through this one, microcomputers, right? Now, microcomputers means normal computers that we are using day-to-day work. So we have different categories: desktop, personal computer, laptop, palm top, notebook, smartphones, tablet, and phablet. That is a small pocket-sized mobile device, but it's larger than the size of the average smartphone. But nowadays we can't find them, right? Find in the sense we can't separate them. All are just coming like the smartphones, right? Okay, now tell me, just send me a message through the Zoom. Out of these four, that is main supercomputers, mainframe computers, mini computers and microcomputers, what is the type for the special purpose computers? We discuss special purpose computers and general purpose. What can be the type of special purpose computers? Just send me the answer through the chat. Okay, most of you have put the correct answer. Some of you have put desktop viewer. It cannot be desktop, right? Mini computer, no, right? This should be, definitely this should be what? It's a supercomputer. I told that supercomputers can do super works. Special purpose means that is a kind of a super work. That means it's a special work, especially designed for that purpose, right? So that is definitely supercomputers. That is definitely supercomputers. Can you handle missiles and all that with the desktop and mainframe mini? No. So that we need to have supercomputer. So that is a special work. No, it's not a normal work. Normal work නෙවෙයි. It's a special thing. So that is done by the supercomputer. Remember that, right? Okay, don't go. Then we'll go to the other part. Okay, I'm going to discuss this about ports, right? So before I go through these ports, why we need to have ports? Now here I have a motherboard. I think it's clear for you all, right? So here this side you have all the type of ports, right? So this is not everything is here, right? Now these are a bit round one. These are called PS2. This is VGA port is there. There are some USB ports that you can recognize them without any problem. This is network. Then here you have sounds, right? Now why we need to have this port? Now when you see this motherboard, you can see this is onboard thing. Onboard in the sense these ports, this part have embedded or fixed to the motherboard. If something happened, we have to replace this motherboard. But earlier days, right? We had separate cards for the these things. Now as example here VGA port is there. Now suppose the VGA port is not working, you have to replace this whole motherboard if it is not working, or you can fix separate video card to the motherboard. There are some slots here. I think you can see here. There are some slots here. To these slots, you can have separate VGA card. Whenever VGA card gahala from here, this side, now here this blank ne make black තියෙන්නේ. මෙතනින් අපිට මේ වගේ this kind of a port we can take through the VGA card. Now if something happened, now earlier all these things sound cards separate cards came. Whenever cards ආවේ මේ හැම එකටම. එතකොට මොකක් හරි වුණොත් අපිට we can replace the card. හැබැයි nowadays we are having this on board. On board කියන්නේ මේ ඔක්කොම board එකටම embed වෙලා ඉන්නේ. If something happen මේ ඔක්කොම මොන හරි වුණොත් එහෙම you have to better to replace the motherboard. It's a expensive. Otherwise, you can, there are some spaces that some slots. Then Kodak motherboards slots slots you can plug the whatever card you want. If it is sound is not working, sound card if it's a VGA is not working now, video card or whatever card you can plug, then this side you will be getting this type of port sticker, right? So this is a motherboard. So because I show this, I will tell you there's something called, this is called heat sink. In heat sink, why we are having this heat sink? To absorb the temperature. Then processor here, processor, you don't get the processor here. I have removed that. So when the computer is working, this it produces heat. That heat can be reduced. We are using cooling fans. Cooling fans use. Other than that, we have this kind of a heat sink. That heat sinks are absorbing the heat. Absorb heat, right? So heat paste also there. The paste, so those things are there. Now we are going to discuss about the ports. That's why I show that. Okay. So ports and interfaces. Port is an electrical connection using multiple wires to send data, typically between a computer and the device. Now, why we are using these ports? We are fixing. Now, if you take USB, nowadays we are having everything in USB. Keyboard, mouse, printer, some speakers, has become USB. But we have different ports for different work. Why we are using? It's like a bridge. The computer is a device. Monitor computer connect. We have to use the VGA port. It's like a bridge, right? So multiple wires to send data, typically between a computer and device. Interfaces is a standardized method of communication data, typically between computer and the device, right? So there are different types of port. Now this is serial port. See, now this remember the names. No need to this drawing this stuff. You don't get them. So serial port nowadays you can't see actually. The laptop serial port device used for modem. Modem part use printers and all that. Nowadays you don't get, but modems we used. We use modems to connect to the internet. Modem to connect to the internet. Nowadays modems are embedded to routers. ADSL router modem, right? Modem, these things we'll be discussing in networking part. So modem, printer, mouse and keyboard even. Mouse and keyboard earlier it was used with the keyboard. This serial port transmit data bidirectional. That means both sides can be transmit the data via and the one receive wire. You have two wires. See, one transmit wire and one receive wire. It is an synchronizers. No separate clock wire is included, but there are other control signals. So either side can initiate or post data transfer, transmit data width of this 1 bit. Data transfer rate, right? The bits per second, this much of bit per second can be there, right? So there are no need to memorize these numbers, number of bits per second, this is speed and all that. This is the port, serial port. Remember that there's a port called serial and used for to connect modems and printers, mouse and keyboard earlier. Not now. Nowadays you can't find. That's what you have to take from this part. Okay. Then if you see this PS2 port, this is the symbol or the shape is different. Round shape is there. Now when you're connecting mouse and keyboard, we are using mouse and keyboard to connect this PS2 port. Mouse for cyan and keyboard for magenta. There are two colors, especially when you are plugging that. I can show that here. That colors are coming. So here two colors are there. I think you can identify two different colors, magenta and cyan. So this is round one, right? So we use it to connect keyboard and mouse. එතකොට මේක round වුණා කියලා you can't plug it as you want. මේ ඕන විදිහට plug කරන්න බෑ because now here this is a bit different part is there. Other around that you have circles, right? එතකොට මේ විදිහටම තියලා තමයි plug කරන්න ඕනේ. If it is not, that pins will be damaged. If the pins will damage, that cannot be work. ඒක වැඩ කරන්නේ නැහැ මේ pins කැඩුනොත් එහෙම, right? So this is called PS2. Then you have parallel port. But with parallel port we used a bit large one. 25 pins are there. So why we use for this is used to connect printers. There are printers connect kare menna me device එක පාවිච්චි කරලා, right? Printers connect karana we use this device. This is called this port is called parallel port. Nowadays you can't see. Nowadays what you can see, this is the board, you all know, USB. Your phone, everything can be charged through the universal serial bus or universal port or USB port, right? Now this port, what's the difference? Now this port is giving the power 5 volt 5 volt මෙයා දෙනවා එළියට. That's why we can charge the mobile phone. And this is plug and play. Plug and play means what? As soon as you plug this, you can work on that. අපි keyboard එකක් as example, suppose you are using PS2. හිතන්නකෝ PS2 port එකක් use කරනවා කියලා. You are connecting to the computer through the PS2 port. Keyboard එක use කරන PS2 ගහන. Now for some reason we remove that. Computer වැඩ කර ඉන්න ගමන් අපි remove කරා කියන්නේ PS2 එකෙන් ගහලා තියෙන keyboard එක. Then if you plug that, it won't work. ඒක වැඩ කරන්නේ නැහැ. What you have to do, you have to restart the computer. Computer එක restart කරන්න වෙනවා අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ඕගොල්ලන්ට ඒක වැඩ කරවන්න නම්, right? But if you are using a USB මේ විදිහට port එකක් use කරලා if you are connecting the keyboard and mouse, you can remove as you want. As soon as you plug again while you are working, වැඩ කර ඉන්න ගමන් detecting කියලා වැටලා ඔයගොල්ලෝ pen drive එකක් ගහුවාම detect කරන්න same way that keyboard mouse will be detected and can be worked. That is called plug and play. As soon as you plug, you can play. That means you can work. Other thing is giving voltage. Now other ports, they are not giving voltage out. අපි PS2 එකට ගහලා phone එක charge කරනවා දැකලා නැහැ. කරන්නත් බෑ, right? They are not giving voltage. එළියට voltage එකක් දෙන්නේ නැහැ. But USB they are giving. Now USB 1.1 is there, USB 2. Now we have USB 3 and 3 point something. Like they have different speed of data transmission. ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැකලා සමහර laptops වල most of the laptops they have USB 2 ports එකයි USB 3, right? හිතන්නකෝ. ඒකට එහෙම තියෙද්දි අපි our pen drive is USB 2. So we are connecting to the USB 3 එකට. ඒකට speed එකක් එන්නේ normal USB 2 එකේ speed එක තමයි. You have pen drive that is USB 3 using the USB 3 technology. But you are connecting to USB 2 port එකට තමයි ගිහිල්ලා plug කරන්නේ මේ laptop එක. So your data transmission speed is even your අපි හිතමු මොකක් හරි pen එකෙන් copy කරනවා කියලා. pen එකේ speed එක 3 වුණත් ඔයා if you have plug it to the USB 2 නම් ඔයාගේ speed එක USB 2 එකේ speed. And there are some most probably one. ඉස්සර නම් ගොඩක් කරලා USB 2 තව 3 තව දැන් nowadays you will be getting USB 3. So USB 3 port එක සමහරට එකයි USB එකයි it's a different color එක කොහොමද recognize කරගන්න පුළුවන් අපිට, right? Most probably the different color inside that blue color වගේ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. What a USB 3. So if you have our pen drive USB 3, if you are connecting to the USB 3 port on the laptop, you can get the maximum efficiency. Tagala speed එක හැමදේම අපිට හම්බ වෙනවා if you are connecting to the correct port. දැන් බලන්න එතකොට ඔයගොල්ලෝ සමහරට ඔයගොල්ලෝ plug කරලා මොනවා හරි copy කරනවා අයියෝ මේක copy වෙන්නේ නැහැ it takes long time කියනවා සමහර වෙලාවට. But if you are connecting to the correct port, අනිවාර්යයෙන් මේක maximum efficiency එක maximum speed එක it will take, right? So we'll write down under this USB 1. Here write down up to 127 devices. Up to 127 devices can be connected through this port. This supplies this supplies 5 volt at 100 to 500 milliamperes at 100 to 500 milliamperes for use by each device. For use by each device. Four wires in a shield cable up to 5 meters. Up to 5 meters. These are called hot pluggable. These are called hot pluggable. That means hot pluggable. That means you can plug and remove. Devices while it is power on. Right? Okay, there are some types. I think Amisha is asking a question. Yes, right? Now, when you take USB, you have something called Type A, Mini A type, and you can have USB-C, Type C also. Now, Type C is used with mobile phones. Mobile phone ka charge karanna, data transfer karanna, we are using Type C. That is different. Now USB 3 means now that's a normal USB port that you can find in the laptop, right? So you don't get type C on the laptop at the moment. Our devices are with the normal pen drives are not type C pen drives are not available, right? So but the place where you plug the phone එකට plug කරන එක තමයි මේ type C එක වෙන්න පුළුවන් එක. Now type A කියලා කියන්නේ that is this one you have seen with the printers. මේක ගොඩක් කලකට printer එකත් එක්ක එන්නේ this side for the printer but this side for the laptop. So the laptop එක පැත්තට එන්නේ this USB normal USB port. This printer side you are getting type A මේ විදිහට පොඩ්ඩක් වෙනස්. මේ ඔයගලන්ට පේන ටිකක් ලොකු එකක්. This is also the mobile phone. ඒතර mobile phone එකට මේ පැත්ත ගැහුවට the other side you are getting the normal. So type C also the same, right, Amisha? I think you got that. So type C you can plug to the mobile phone side, but the other side normal USB port. So that is the place where you have to decide the speed of the data transmission. So you are connecting cable to the laptop by using USB 2 or USB 3 port, right? So from whatever the speed you have with the type C, the other side is the mobile phone side, but you are getting the data according to that port you are fixing to the or you are plugging to the laptop, right? So that can be either type USB 2 or 3 point something it has introduced, right? That's how it's depending the speed of the data transmission. Now when you have this type C can be used to in mobile phone, that especially for the charging and all that. So that rapid charging is there for type C if you are using type C, right? So there are some different mechanisms, but for the data transmission, if you are connecting to the USB, that laptop side, it is basically USB 2 or 3 versions, right? Okay, I think you got that, right, Amisha? Okay, we'll go to the other parts. This Firewire also like the USB one, but it is different. But we have to have Firewire that the devices that we are using normal we don't get them, but there are some devices they are using Firewire, and it is difficult to find out in each and every computer this Firewire port. If it is available only, you can plug the whatever the device that is used the Firewire port. Then if you go to other one, VGA1 or Super VGA. So these are used to connect monitors or there are some projectors you can connect through this VGA port, right? Here also the shape is bit different. So you can, when you're plugging, you have to check the shape. The other side bit longer than that one. So when you're plugging, even you have to connect it properly. Otherwise you can't connect actually, right? So that is for video, only for video. This is only for video transmission. Then DVI also the same way. That is also used to displays, that is monitors. There are some monitors are coming with DVI ports. Projector is also there. That is also used to connect monitors and but laptop or your desktop computer should support this type of ports, but these are a bit rare. These are not common ports. These are not common ports, but you can find them. Some computers you can have. Then audio out micro line, that is audio input output. Speakers, microphones can be connected through this one. So audio out, microphone in, line in. You can connect some players, audio players, those stuff you can do. No need to buy hard this stuff. Just have an idea. These are additional stuff for you all. And this is modem. I think here it's like the router where you get the broadband ADSL router. It's like the same way. So why we are using this? To connect our device to the internet or the network, right? Modem is especially for the internet, right? Modem is especially for the internet. Now you can see there are two types of cable. One is Ethernet cable, other one is phone. So both are having the same shape. Both are having same shape, but you have the size is different. Size is different. Now, if you take the Ethernet one, it's a bigger than that one. Can you write it under Ethernet? You write down RJ45. That port is known as RJ45. RJ45. The other side of the phone, there you write RJ11. Right? Okay. Themi is asking what is ADSL. So ADSL stands for asymmetric digital subscriber line. That means normal. Earlier you had something called different internet lines. Those are by replacing them, you got ADSL. These ADSL lines are a bit fast than the normal earlier ones, right? So this stuff we'll be discussing this networking part under unit 6, right? So at the moment you remember the ADSL stand for asymmetric digital subscriber line. This is it's a kind of a technology that offer faster connection, right? Faster connection than the normal traditional dial-up connection. There's something called dial-up. Nowadays you can't find that, right? So earlier it was called dial-up connection. Now ADSL is providing fastest data transmission, right? Okay. Then we'll move to forward. Okay, I have showed with the pictures. Go through that pictures. Two wires, right? RJ45, that's what I told. You can connect it to the connecting through the cable. If you are connecting internet or the network through the cable, you are using this one, right? But if I go to the other one, that is infrared and Bluetooth one. So this is infrared. Nowadays we don't get the infrared, we are getting Bluetooth. So Bluetooth is a developed version of the infrared, right? Developed version of the infrared. Infrared we are using Still we are using for the remote controls and all that. We are giving the signals through the infrared, right? So this is without cable. If you want to connect to some network, we can use that. And due to this infrared and Bluetooth, the devices can become portable. You can take it here and there. With this networking technologies, right? Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi also kind of a radio waves. Then here you get the Bluetooth wireless, right? Now these ports actually you can't see them separately. But those are inbuilt, right? These are also kind of ports, but they you cannot see them separate. They are inbuilt. Inbuilt separately we can't find, but there are some. If you are connecting to the desktop computer, if you are connected now, your computer want to connected to a Bluetooth or connect on a desktop computer, right? But you don't have the Bluetooth in your desktop computer now. Laptop definitely you have. You can buy, there's something called Bluetooth adapters are there, right? Around 1,000 rupees. Bluetooth Wi-Fi adapters are there. You can buy and plug them to through the USB port. Then your desktop also having Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, right? So that is possible. Adapters are there. You can separately buy and you can plug them to the USB port. USB port. This port ekata plug karanna puluwan. Okay, we'll go down. Okay. So then after that, we have to discuss input devices, right? So I will explain with that. Okay, right? So I think ports. Oh, okay, with you all. Anything you can ask now. I have not given the permission to switch on your mics and all that, right? Sometimes it may be disturbed, but you can send me the questions through the chat. Definitely, I will answer. At the same time, even I couldn't answer, but later even I will answer definitely, right? So these ports are very important. You have to just remember the port name and why we are using them. For what purpose? Now, as example, PS2 for what? PS2 to connect mouse and keyboard, right? Something like that you have to memorize. No need to versions, no need to remember the system, right? Then you have something called input devices. Input devices mean now computer, if you want to input something to the computer. Now I want to type something. Now in the chat I am typing and sending you a message. What I can use is the keyboard. What a keyboard use I will type and send whatever the data to you. Message. So the device which I use to input data to the computer is called input devices. So we have output devices also. Output devices also. Output devices mean what we have on the computer. The computer what we have as example, we are having some documents here. So we can take them out. After the printer through that is called output devices. Then storage, there's something called storage. Storage means you can keep your data for further use. After store pen drive, hard disk, CDs and all that. Those are called storage devices, right? So next week, I'm going to discuss these devices, right? So this unit also, I'm not taking much time. Definitely within this month, we can finish this lesson because there are some lessons we have to take some more time to explain everything. Then now these things you can just go through and understand. And as earlier one, unit 1, we did all the past paper questions. We have discussed all the past paper questions related to unit 1. what type of question you are getting from the for the exam from this unit. Whether you are capable of doing it, right? So මේකටත් එහෙම අපි අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම after finishing this unit, we are discussing all the past paper questions. So be in touch. Okay, we'll finish for the day. Thank you all and have a nice day.